Hey, hockey fans, how's everybody doing? Let's go over some scores for Friday night hockey, and then we'll make some picks for Saturday. There's 11 games to pick for Saturday. The 12th game was postponed. Some of those games are early games. First, go over some scores for Friday. Washington over the Devils in overtime, 2-1. We got that one right. Winnipeg and Toronto, great game, close game. Ended up 1-1 going into extra time and then into a shootout. Toronto edged the win 2-1. Edmonton, Battle of the West, took care of Calgary 3-2. We got that one right. Colorado over St. Louis 3-2. We got that one right. Arizona doubled up Anaheim 4-2. We got that one right. And then San Jose over the Kings 3-0. We got that one right. So best bet was Edmonton. We got that right. That went to 21-16, which is awesome. Overall bets were 5-1, 157 over 125. Parlay got that Winnipeg game wrong, but the San Jose game, Sharks and the Oilers, they both came through. So it was an okay day. Not a bad way to kind of get going into the weekend here, and hopefully the weekend will bring some good results. So we'll get into some picks here and see what we can do. Pittsburgh over in Boston. Boston 5-4-1 in their last 10, current one-game losing streak. Halak listed to be in net. Pittsburgh 7-2-1 in their last 10, current 5-game winning streak. DeSmith listed to be in net. DeSmith is like 1.84 goals against average and a .933 save percentage. Probably one of the best goaltenders in the league right now. The way he's playing anyway. They're in third with 50 points in this Mass Mutual East Division. Boston sits in fourth with 41 points. Teams played on April 1st, and Pittsburgh won that game 4-1. Bruins lead this season series 3-2. Crosby's still leading Pittsburgh in points for the team in the last 5 games. He's still got 8. The Penguins going into this game with the longest current winning streak in the league right now at 5. And that last win was a big one for him because that broke a 10-game losing streak in Boston. I just like what this Pittsburgh team is doing, and I've said it before, but I'm not a Pittsburgh fan, but they're playing good hockey, so I'm going to pick them to win again over Boston. Visiting team, Pittsburgh to win. That's my pick. Next game, Detroit against Tampa. First place team against the last place team. Goal differential for Tampa is +40. For Detroit, it's -40. Tampa is 6-4-0 in their last 10, current one-game winning streak. Vasilevsky listed to be in net for Tampa. Detroit 4-5-1 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. I think Greiss is going to be in net for Detroit. Could be Picard, but I think it's going to be Greiss. Detroit in 8th, last 29 points in the Discover Central. Tampa sits in first with 52 points. The Red Wings' last game was a loss to Florida, 3-2 in overtime, and the Lightning last played Columbus and came back in the third to win 3-2. Tampa leads the season series 3-1. Detroit won the last game on March 11th, 6-4 in Detroit. Tampa's home record, though, is 14-3-0, and with Tampa second in goals for and possibly Picard even being in net there, you got to like this Tampa play. It's the first of a back-to-back. These teams play again on Sunday. My pick is going to be Tampa. Home team, Tampa to win the game. Next game, Chicago against Nashville. Nashville 8-2-0, current one-game losing streak. Saros is listed to be a net for Nashville. Chicago 3-7-0 in their last 10, current one-game losing streak. Lankinen listed to be a net for Chicago. They're in 5th with 39 points in the Discover Central. Nashville also with 39 points. They're 4th and 5th position here. The Hawks put up a fight but ended up with a loss in their last game to Carolina 4-3. The Predators also had a loss to Dallas 4-1. Dallas put a stop to that winning streak they had going. And Chicago is going to be looking for their first win in this series because, I was surprised anyway when I saw it again. Nashville has won all 4 games that they've played. All 4 games that have been played have been 5 or under in the total. So I might look at an underplay here. But I'm going to go. It'll be interesting to see how Nashville bounces back after their losing streak was broke. And I like what Chicago, how they're playing. I mean, their last 10 doesn't really show it. I mean, Nashville's got definitely a better last 10. But I like the visiting team here, Chicago. I like them a lot in this position to beat Nashville. Next game, New York Rangers against Buffalo. Buffalo 1-7-2 in their last 10, current overtime decision. Allmark listed to be a net for Buffalo. The Rangers 6-3-1 in their last 10, current 2-game winning streak. Shesterkin is confirmed to be a net for the Rangers. They're in 6th with 38 points in the Mass Mutual East. Buffalo sits in 8th, last position. Finally reached that 20-point mark. Teams met on April 1st, and the game went into overtime with Zibanejad scoring the winner with 28 seconds left in overtime. The Rangers outshot Buffalo 47-23. Tokarski, he played a good game for the Sabres and was named one of the stars of the game. So, that was awesome for him. New York has a 4-1 lead in this series. Zibanejad with 5 goals in his last 5 games. Panarin's playing better every game. He was also one of the stars of the last game that was played here. I like the Rangers. I know Buffalo has showed up twice now, and their last 2 games have been a win and an overtime, which is pretty good for Buffalo. And they'll probably show up again, but Rangers are going to win the game. That's my pick. Next game, Philadelphia against the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders are 6-4-0 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Varlamov is listed to be a net for the Islanders. Philadelphia 4-5-1, current 1-game losing streak. Carter Hart has been confirmed to be a net for Philadelphia. They're in 5th with 38 points in the Mass Mutual East. The Islanders sit in 2nd with 50 points. The Flyers lost to Buffalo in their last game 6-1. The Islanders had a dominating win against Washington in their last game, and they won that game 8-4. The Flyers have a 3-2 lead in this series. I mean, there's a goaltending advantage here for the Islanders for sure. I mean, Carter Hart goals against average is 4.04, save percentage is 0.869, and the Islanders' home record, I think it is the best in the league, 14-1-2. You got to like the Islanders here. Islanders are going to win that game. That's my pick, home team. Next game, Dallas against Carolina. Carolina 6-2-2 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. I think Mrazek, is going to be back for this game. We'll see. But that's, from what I'm kind of reading, I think that's what might happen. Playing Dallas, 3-3-4 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Kudobin listed to be in net. They're in 7th with 34 points in the Discover Central. Carolina sits in 3rd with 51 points. Dallas ended Nashville's winning streak, as I mentioned, with a 4-1 win on Thursday. Carolina also played on Thursday. Their game was against Chicago, and the Canes edged out a 4-3 win for themselves. Dallas will be looking for their first win against Carolina in this series. Carolina's won 4 games, and this is another beginning of a back-to-back. These teams meet again on Sunday. I like Carolina here. I like the home team. I know Dallas is playing some good hockey, but if you look at, they have a problem closing out games. It looks like they're going to win, and then they end up finding a way to lose. I like Carolina at home to win that game. That's my pick. Next game, Columbus against Florida. Florida 6-4-0 in their last 10, current 4-game winning streak. Bobrovsky listed to be a net for Florida. Columbus 4-4-2 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Korpisalo, I think is going to be a net for Columbus. They're in 6th with 36 points in the Discover Central. Florida sits in 2nd with 52 points. Blue Jackets, they're coming off a nice 2-game set that they played against Tampa, where they won one game 3-1, and the other one they lost by a goal 3-2. In the second, Panthers, they squeezed out a win in Detroit, overtime 3-2 on Thursday, and the Panthers lead this season series 3-1. Verhaeghe, 8 points in his last 5 games, with 5 of those being goals. There's always upsets. Every night of hockey, there's upsets. And I think Columbus coming in here with some confidence. They put up some nice shots on net. I think there were 37 or 39 shots against Tampa in that last game, even though they lost. So they're firing it at the net, and I kind of like what they're doing. So we'll see if they can upset Florida here. Visiting team, that's going to be my pick, Columbus to beat Florida. Next game, Ottawa against Montreal. Montreal 5-2-3 in their last 10. Current 3-game winning streak. Price listed to be a net for Montreal. Ottawa 3-4-3, current 1-game losing streak. I know Murray's been back in practice, and there's a chance he could be a net here. Gustafsson could be a net, I'm not sure. Ottawa sits in 7th with 28 points in the Scotia North. Montreal in 4th with 41 points. On Thursday, the Canadians won 4-1 against the Senators. It looked, Montreal came out really strong, and it looked like Ottawa didn't even show up, and I think we're going to see a different game here. I'm going to pick them to win the game. I don't know if I wouldn't put a lot of money on it. I might go puck line plus 1.5, but that'd be different. Series is at 3 games apiece, and I think Ottawa is going to show up here, and visiting team is going to get a win. Ottawa to beat Montreal. That's my pick. Next game, Minnesota against Vegas. Vegas 6-3-1 in their last 10, an overtime decision. Marc-Andre Fleury listed to be a net for Vegas. Minnesota 6-3-1, current one-game winning streak. Talbot played an amazing game that last game. Kakinen, I think, is going to be a net here. Minnesota sits in third with 46 points in the Honda West. Vegas in second with 50 points. Teams played on Thursday, and the Wild won in a shootout 3-2 in Vegas. The Wild now lead this season series 3-2. And as I mentioned, Talbot played a great game. I think Minnesota might have one of the best goaltending tandems there is in the league. Fiala, he had a beautiful win there. I mean, that goal that he scored to win the game off the post, back off Leonard, and then back in the net. I mean, that was something else. It was a good win for Minnesota. Kakinen and net, I like Minnesota here. Visiting team to beat Vegas again in Vegas. And that's what's going to happen. We'll see. St. Louis against Colorado. Colorado 8-0-2 in their last 10, current 3-game winning streak. Grubauer has been confirmed to be a net for this game. But why didn't that game that they played tonight, Johansson, I mean, wow, he played great. What a great game for him. Anyway, St. Louis 2-6-2 in their last 10, current one-game losing streak. Husso listed to be a net for St. Louis. They're in fifth with 38 points in the Honda West. Colorado sits in first with 52 points. Another back-to-back here. Colorado leads the season series 2-1. McKinnon, who was named one of the stars in the game for that last one, I think he's got in the last 5 games 8 points, 5 of those being goals. And the Blues definitely look more competitive in this game. Binnington, I think he had one of his better games, even though they ended up losing. But the Blues fell out of 4th place, like playoff position here. Arizona jumped over them after their win tonight. So, they're going to come out hard. But with Grubauer and net, I just see this Colorado team winning again. Home team Colorado to win the game. Last one, San Jose against the LA Kings. LA Kings 3-7-0, current one-game losing streak. I think Quick could be a net. We'll see. San Jose 5-4-1 in their last 10, current 3-game losing streak. Dubnyk, I think, is listed to be a net for San Jose, and that's a bit of a concern. San Jose is in 6th with 36 points in the Honda West. The Kings are in 7th with 34 points. San Jose won 3-0 tonight. Great game, and a great shutout for Martin Jones, who was a star in the game when they won 3-0. Dubnyk, as I mentioned, is a concern. But if you watch that game tonight, I mean, San Jose, sometimes I talk about energy, and San Jose, they're laughing, they're having fun, and they're playing good hockey. I see them winning again. I think I said it before, I'm not a believer in this Kings team. San Jose is going to be my pick. San Jose to beat the LA Kings, Colorado to beat St. Louis, Minnesota to beat Vegas, Ottawa to beat Montreal, Columbus to beat Florida, Carolina to beat Dallas, the Islanders to beat Philadelphia, the Rangers to beat Buffalo, Chicago to beat Nashville, Tampa to beat Detroit, Pittsburgh to beat Boston. My best bet, I'm going to make that the Chicago game. And I know there's other ones that are probably easier to name as a best bet, but I kind of see that as not much of a challenge. So Chicago, I think Chicago is going to win that game against Nashville. I'm going to do 2 parlays. My one parlay, I'm going to go with the Hawks money line, and when I locked it in, I think it's at 2 now. When I locked it in, I got it at 2.05. Pittsburgh money line 2.0, and I'm going to go Columbus. I'm just going to go puck line at plus 1.5 at 1.54. That's my one parlay. The other one I'm going to go the Hawks Predators under 5.5 at 1.86. I'm going to go the Islanders puck line minus 1.5 at 2.45. And then I'm going to go the Ottawa Senators puck line plus 1.5 at 1.8. And I'll see how my Saturday goes. The game that was postponed was the Vancouver and Edmonton game. Anyway, hope everyone has a great weekend, Easter weekend coming here. And hope everyone is having good luck with their picks. Everyone's safe. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.